Yeah.
Hi, everybody. My name is Sarah Moon, and I started this page a few weeks ago with the pandemic going on just so that other local businesses can help each other. I'm with Via Media TV, and we do marketing and digital video for pretty much everything that you can think of. Today, one of our members of the group is that's with us is Sasha Parker Cochran. Sasha owns SPC Media Productions, and I've known Sasha for probably about 20 years, about 20 years or so. She started with a company that we started with cable years ago, and then she kind of broke off and started her own business. So Sasha, why don't you go ahead and tell me a little bit about yourself and why you got into this type of business?
Okay. Well, thank you so much for having me, and hi to all of our members. I hope that you guys are having a great day. I think this is fun to talk about because I really fell in love with television production in 7th grade, and that's the truth. So, I've been doing this since I was 12 years old. I did the news at Twin Hoffel Middle School, and then I kept it up through high school at Simon Kenton High School. I was in the media department. So, doing the senior video and the morning announcements, but that helped me learn so much. And then right out of high school, I started working for public access. So I did like the Boone County Fair, the Kenton County Fair, and I knew that I wanted to be on television. And I grew up thinking, I'm going to be on MTV someday. And then I went to New York to visit my cousin, and I was like, nope, I love Northern Kentucky. I am not a city girl. I'm a Northern Kentucky girl. And that was fine. I went to Northern Kentucky University, and I graduated with a degree in radio television. And from there, I found out about an internship at Insight Media Advertising, and they were looking for a television host for a new show called Shot Northern Kentucky. And so I was so excited about that. And I can still remember the interview, my little audition, I guess you could say.
So you became the face of Northern Kentucky, really, with that show.
I did, and I actually have a newspaper article that someone wrote about me, and calling, what does it say? Sasha lights up cable as the face of Northern Kentucky. And I loved, and like I said, I didn't want to go to New York, and I didn't want to be on the news. I wanted to get to be myself on camera. And so at Insight, I took that job. Somebody actually had left as an editor and shooter, and so they said, we want to offer you a job. We want you to start right away. And I'm like, what? I haven't even graduated college. But what a blessing to then go on to work there for 15 years and move from an intern up to a production supervisor.
Right. So then you left Insight really and started your own business. I mean, is that right? Did you have anything in between? So you left Insight when it was, I think, probably a different company name.
Oh yeah, no, I have to say I would never have left Insight. But, of course, it got taken over by Time Warner, and their model. Things changed. Their model changed. Yeah. And at the time, my daughters were little, 5 and 6, and I wanted to spend more time with them. And a lot of I heard layoffs were coming, and a lot of my clients said, Sasha, you should start your own business. And somebody in the office used to call me SPC, and I thought, there's my business name. So it'll be 8 years, coming up on 8 years that I've been in business for myself.
So how did you actually start your business? It doesn't seem like it would be a very, it seems a little bit expensive with the equipment that you have. So how did you actually start your business?
Well,
and what did you actually started in?
Oh, I'm bad at math. This is why I do video production.
I just 2012 possibly, because
you're coming up on 8 years, 2013. I'm going to say 2013.
Okay.
I think. There's no shame in that. I'm not good at math. But yeah, I mean, a little secret, I had been praying about what to do. And so with a layoff came a really great severance package. I was there for 15 years. So I took a little bit of that money and bought, this is an upgrade from the camera I had, but I've got my camera here, my tripod. This is what I record my audio to. And I got all my other gear behind me in my office, but I was able to use that to start my business.
Good. So what has been one of the toughest things that you've been through since you opened your doors, or is this possibly one of the toughest things, this coronavirus?
Yeah, I would say this is one of the toughest things. And I know we're going to get through this. But I think when I first started, and you're in cable television. That's where I came from, cable television. And when I started my business, it was like social media blew up, and people were like, oh, I don't need a commercial anymore. I'll be on social media. So it was really hard for me because I'm used to that 30-second spot. And to be honest, something that was also hard for me was leaving being on front of the camera. Because honestly, and I'm so thankful, at least once a week, someone still approaches me, not anymore because I don't go out, but in the grocery store, and they kind of look at me funny, and they're like, how do I know you? Yeah. And I'm like, Shop Northern Kentucky. So that was hard to step behind the camera and say, I don't do a lot of on-camera work anymore. I will. And I have contractors that would hire to film me. But, that was hard. But just finding my place, I guess. I thought, oh my gosh, this is the end of the world. But then realizing I can do video for social media, but a lot of people want to do it themselves. And that's
Well,
kind of okay.
and that's something I was actually going to bring up, because you don't just do video for television. I mean, video is just like in my business, video is everything anymore. It's when you're watching television, you're either watching it on your telephone, you're watching it on your regular TV, you're watching it through an app. There's so many different things that video runs on. So how did you interact that with your company?
Well, that's what I tell clients. Like, if you have a website, you should have a landing page. You should have a video explaining what you do. I mean, if I'm going to hire you to come in and clean my carpets or whatever, if I'm going to even go into your store, I like to see a face with the business.
Right.
Now, a lot of clients get nervous. I don't want to be on camera, and you don't have to be. You can always just be in a video shot and
Right.
there's a voiceover. But I think it's important for the viewers to have that relationship established with their clients before they even go into the door or before they even
Right.
visit your website. Well, obviously they're going to visit your website and see your video, but it just helps that relationship. I feel that way when I see someone on television. I'm like, oh, I feel like I already know them.
Yeah, it's fun to walk into a store and see somebody that you've seen on TV, and makes you feel a little bit at home.
Hmm.
So if I if I was getting ready to shoot video or needed someone to shoot video for me, what would make me use you versus a competitor?
So one thing that I love hearing, and I know that it's true. I am an upbeat person, and people used to say when they saw me on Shop Northern Kentucky, "Oh my gosh, are you really that excited about tires at Fleet Tire and Auto or cars at JD Byrider?" I am, and it's not even so much the product; it's the people. And
Right.
so when I work one-on-one with a client, and they're nervous about, I don't know where to start, I don't know how to write a script, I don't know what ideas I want. They say that I help set them at ease, and especially if they're on camera and I'm behind the camera, I have a smile on my face the whole time. That's my dog, by the way. And I set them at ease, and that's what people say. They're like, "Oh my gosh, that wasn't anything to be nervous about." They have fun producing their commercials, and so
Right.
that along with experience and my pricing, I feel like is wonderful. I love serving mom and pop businesses in Northern Kentucky. So those three things, I think.
And I have to say, having worked with you for as long as I have, I took a little hiatus and then I came back and started working with you again. You, without a doubt, are probably one of the most positive people that I've ever had the opportunity to work with. And you do make it easy for the clients, and you do settle them, because they do get nervous. I mean, I get nervous for them. So to have somebody like you that's very calm and very upbeat and, hey, why don't we try this? Is incredible, is
Thank you.
great. So it's a really good, it's a great advantage to have over a lot of your competitors, I would think.
Thank
So
you.
with everything that's going on right now, what is one or two things that you would suggest other businesses that are in this group or just even outside of this group to do to keep your business going or keep your name out in front of people?
I think something that's really important, and I'm going to be more intentional about, my dog, he's so cute. He's 15 years old, so he's not hurt.
Oh,
I'm breathing. Is be more intentional of just taking this time to follow up with clients that you maybe haven't talked to in a while.
right,
Maybe haven't advertised with you, haven't advertised with me, just to follow up. And I think even a phone call, not even just a text, because we can do that
right,
when we're busy. But now we have a little bit more time to call and say, how are you? First of all, I hope you're healthy and you're okay. But
right,
how can I help you, or how can we reconnect that relationship we had if we haven't had it in the future?
right. Okay, okay. So Sasha, is there anything else that you would want to add to this before we say goodbye and get this on the air?
Well, I would like to say that I would love to have a virtual Zoom meeting with you guys that are watching this, just to talk about production. What does that look like? I mean, of course, there's no cost for us to just brainstorm ideas, and maybe now's not the time, but once we get back to normal, which we will, it might be a new normal, but we'll get there. That would be a great time to have a
Right,
video. And the
right,
cool thing is, Sarah, we work together a lot. You might not be ready for television now, but let's work together to get you that commercial for social media, and then it's ready to go when you have
right.
great packages and great deals that you can talk to them about. That's what I'd like. And then just share this page with everybody.
Okay,
Let's get some
okay.
more members.
So Sasha Parker Cochran, thank you very much. SPC Media Production. I did want to mention though that you don't just do television, you don't just do video. You do a lot of stuff for nonprofit. You do a lot of event marketing. So it's not just something to broadcast. You do a lot for a lot of people. So good luck with your business. Thank you very much for joining us. And we will probably be talking soon.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you.